Oliver's branch line was closed for repairs, so he had to work in the big yards for some time. However, the bigger engines weren't very pleased with the way he shunted.
"Why'd you take so long to shunt my train, Oliver?" grumbled James. "Even I could do it faster." "Maybe Duck should teach you how to shunt, Oliver?" agreed Henry. "He may be annoying, but at least he knows how to do his job properly. What is it with you, always messing up the yard?" finished James as he puffed away. I'm sorry to say that James's words got into Oliver's head. Later that day while shunting, he was rough with the freight cars. "You're no good, Oliver, you're dangerous," they all screamed. "We want Duck, he's far better at shunting than you." At last, Oliver lost it. "You silly engine," shouted a workman. "It'll take a long time to repair this turntable, which will cause confusion and delay." That night, Sir Topham had arrived. "Oliver, I am most disappointed in you. I thought you could control freight cars. You shall work the mail train for a while. Maybe the night air will clear up your smoke box." "Yes, sir. Sorry, sir," said Oliver sadly. "Cheer up, old chap," smiled his driver. "The mail train run is a grand run for a fine engine like you." Oliver smiled, but he still felt he had let everyone down. His driver took them along the coastal run with the mail train. The fresh air couldn't help but brighten Oliver's spirits. They made good speed until it was time to collect some important mail from Harold the helicopter. "Come on, Harold!" At last, Harold landed. "Sorry I'm late, Great Western. Had a bit of a problem with one of my arms. Kept letting me down when I was meant to be up. You know how it is." "We know that we'll be late for our first run," replied Oliver's driver. Soon they were on their way again. Ahead was a red signal light. Oliver didn't realize that the signalman had dozed off. Oliver whistled several times, but the signal stayed red. "There must be something wrong with that signal. We'll go slowly and stop by the signal box," said his driver. But they never reached it. The points before the signal box were switched to an old track. They were going the wrong way. Oliver's fireman was concerned. "We need to find a water tower soon." Instead, they saw an old station. Disaster lay ahead. Meanwhile, Sir Topham Hatt was worried. "Oliver has not returned. We'll send out a search party." Soon he was high in the sky with Harold. "There they are." "It wasn't Oliver's fault," sighed the driver. "I'm aware of that. I'm just glad to see you were all safe." Then he saw something. It was an empty old house beside the station. He went to inspect it. When he returned, he spoke to Oliver. "You have found another attraction for our island. We'll make this house as good as new, and visitors can have tea and crumpets there." Sighed Oliver. "Getting lost can be interesting, but being found is much nicer, especially when it makes an engine feel really useful at last."